Do 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 do.
It's Jamo and the boys.
Today we have all our members back. We have Sam, Connor, Dom, and me.
We are going to be covering the parable of the unforgiving servant and the parable of the wedding banquet, and then we got a little special segment for y'all.
So you guys got to stay tuned until the end to see what the special segment is.
So we're starting off with the unforgiving servant. Like, what actually happens in the story is it's a servant who was forgiven by a massive debt only to refuse forgiveness, or only to, wait, what? Oh, he was asking for forgiveness from his master, received the forgiveness, but then his servant owed him debt and he didn't forgive him. So, like, the servant, right after he got paid off, started harassing his servants for their debts. The text outlines a clear procedure designed to help sinners recognize the sin and return to the community. The story roots reconciliation and forgiveness. Some key numbers is 77 times, meaning you should always just forgive and keep on forgiving. If you want mercy from God, be merciful to others. If you exact justice from others, expect the same from God.
I have a little bit more to add to that. The story says that the servant owed 10,000 talents, which is like 1 talent is 10 years of wages, and that represents the limitless debt or sin that the Lord or God forgave of his servant. And now moving on to the parable of the wedding banquet.
So in the parable of the wedding banquet, the kingdom of God is compared to a king who gave a wedding banquet for his son. And Jesus is doing this to compare heaven to like a banquet feast where a king sends an invitation. And the king tells all of his servants to invite a bunch of people, and then the first time nobody shows up. So he goes back to his servants, he's all mad, and he tells them to re-invite more people, gives them more information and like rituals and ceremonies that will be going on at the banquet. And then nobody shows up again. So the king, he gets all mad, goes down to his servants where they're living, and he just kills all of them. He kills every servant who delivered the invitation. And the reason, like, what we should take away is that, like, not all are invited into heaven. Jesus says at the end of this parable, many are invited, but few are chosen. And that just, like, shows us that we need to really strive to live our life and, like, trust who we are with and try to lead our life towards heaven. Like, we need to be surrounded with good people that will help us get to heaven.
And also that God gives everybody the opportunity to go into heaven. Like, I mean, we all got the opportunity, but some of us just won't take it, or...
With that opportunity, we have to, like, strive to reach it.
Yeah.
We have to go get it, not just, like, let it be there.
Yeah.
To connect that back to the servant, the unforgiving servant, it goes along with, like, God is willing to let us off our debt, so we should be able to forgive others of their debt.
And then now we're going to connect these parables to our lives today and how we can, like, put it into the world. So an example or analogy, like, say that I have a debt from somebody, maybe I lost in pool or something.
Yeah.
That I should forgive them if they can't pay me, and then they should pass that on to be also merciful to others, that if they can't pay them, they shouldn't try to beat them up or be mad at them. They should also forgive us.
And the way that I think about my parable in today's meeting is, like, I think of, like, a massive party, like, you invite a bunch of people and then, like, just nobody shows up. So, like, obviously you're bummed, like, you're mad that nobody's there. So, like, you had everything prepared, nobody showed up. So then you resend the invite for, like, say a week later or something, nobody shows up again. So, like, maybe that's, like, something that you need to take away and, like, look back on yourself, that, like, why is nobody showing up? Like, instead of just being frustrated and taking out on others and, like, eventually killing your servants, like, we need to look back, like, on ourselves first. And then that quote at the end really sticks with me. It says, many are invited, but few are chosen.
Yeah, I agree with that because we really need to like. Connor made a good point that we need to look back on ourselves and see why these people aren't showing up. Maybe we need to change our attitude or we need to be kinder or nicer to these people so they will come to our parties and show up.
And one more thing about the unforgiving servant connecting to our life is, it's like you might not think of it as debts, but let's say you make mistakes, you still want people to like forgive your mistakes and not hold them against you.
Yeah, I agree. Not hold grudges.
That's one of the main things Jesus like preaches in his life. Just don't hold grudges on people. Like forgive them, because they too are like human, just like you are.
All right, you think we boys should move on to our special segment
I
here?
think we should.
Our segment today is which Bible character would make the best Fortnite skin?
Bordy, you want to start off?
I'll start off on a hot one.
All right, big take here.
I'm drafting #1 overall, King David.
Oh,
He'll have the crown, he'll have the robes, and as the pickaxe to come, consumable.
Oh.
It'll be the slingshot or like a harp or a violin or
That's
some
tough,
kind
that's
of
tough, that's tough.
some kind of instrument because of the Psalms.
And the slingshot comes from obviously him taking down Goliath.
Yep.
My-
Overpowered.
Yeah,
Overpowered.
yeah, that's a pretty good pick. My character today is gonna be Samson. He's massive. He's muscular. He's got the long hair. He's got
His
the
hair
long
is done.
hair, and like I feel like just seeing him in like Fortnite, the hair flowing everywhere. He kind of gives me like an Aquaman type vibe. Like the long hair, super muscular. That'll be my pick today.
Mine is Moses. You know,
That's just
like,
Great
boring.
pick,
That's just
great
boring.
pick.
You know?
I mean,
That's just typical and boring.
Yeah,
not
typical.
really. We got two styles actually. We got the Egyptian prince Moses, and then old boy Moses.
So is that coming in like a bundle, or
Yeah,
you got
it's a bundle, it's a bundle.
How much is it costing? How many V-Bucks?
2,000.
2,200.
Yeah.
2,200. And the pickaxe is like the
Little
little
Steve.
snake staff.
Yeah,
The
that he
staff.
parted the sea with.
Mm.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
All right,
a lot.
Jamo, who's your
I'm
pick?
gonna choose Jesus Christ himself. I think he would be.
Ah,
I think
had to be there somewhere.
I think he would be
Had to be
broken
there.
because he can heal people. So like
Mm.
he could always heal your teammates.
drop a little revive,
Yeah.
a little med
Yeah,
kit
he's got
action.
like extra fast revive or
And he
something.
can
Yeah.
he can almost never die. Honestly, he just
I
kept
mean-
reviving.
I mean,
He just
I-
kept. Yeah, that's overpowered. That's not even fair.
like you don't even need to
Great
have his reboot
choice.
card. He'll just resurrect himself.
Yeah,
Like-
that's not even fair. Well, anyways,
I think that's gonna be covering it all. Today we talked about parable of the unforgiving servant, how that parallels to our life. Then we talked about parable of the wedding banquet, and then how the kingdom of God is compared to a king who gave a wedding banquet for his son, and how that connects to our daily life of many are invited but few are chosen. Then we obviously got the little off-topic segment
amazing segment.
that kind of it actually does relate back to.
Yeah, it
So
does relate. It does relate.
And then for a little preview of the live podcast, we will be live in front of the class, big studio, like live audience, and I think each audience member can ask a couple questions.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll be looking at for next podcast. All right, that's all for today.
Thank you for listening.
Did you get it?